Wow, it's already Friday. Do you believe it? Okay, for me, Friday comes early. As I record these, as you've probably noticed, 2 or 3 at a time, it's the middle of the week as I'm recording this one. Um, but again, as I look at this, remember to read everything. I'm skipping over a little bit more in this one. But notice the repetition he says from previous chapters when God commanded him to do this. Now he is doing those things. So I'm going to start at verse 4 of Exodus chapter 35. Moses said to all the congregation of the people of Israel, "This is the thing that the Lord has commanded. Take from among you a contribution to the Lord. Whoever is of a generous heart, let him bring the Lord's contribution, gold, silver, and bronze, blue and purple and scarlet yarns, and fine twisted linen, goat's hair, tanned ram skins and goat skins, acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil and for the fragrant incense, and onyx stones, and stones for the setting, for ephod, and for the breastplate. Let every skillful craftsman among you come and make all that the Lord has commanded." For this building project, his first building project, which wasn't a building, but which was instead the tabernacle that God had commanded Moses how to build and what to gather. Moses puts the need before the people, and the people to say what he needs, and he lists it there, right? Gold, silver, bronze, blue, purple, all the yarns, twisted linen, tanned ram skins, goat hair, acacia wood, all of those things that were needed. And then not just what the physical need was, but the skilled labor, the volunteers that were needed to assemble this in the right way. The sacrifice of using the gifts that we've been given, whether it's physical, no, not necessarily gold, silver, ram skins, or the type of yarn. Maybe it's food that is brought for the food pantry. Maybe it's the supplies that are needed for orphan grain train. Maybe it's supporting the church or supporting a missionary above and beyond what you normally would give, or for a building program or something else. This is not the normal offering that they were called, a tenth, the tithe, but this was a free will offering for those who had it laid on their hearts. Not only the gifts, but the abilities that they were to use as well. Let's jump forward to verse 20. Then all the congregation of the people of Israel departed from the presence of Moses, and they came, everyone whose heart stirred him, and everyone whose spirit moved him, and brought the Lord's contributions to be used for the tent of the meeting, and for all its service, and for the holy garments. So they came, both men and women, all who were of willing heart, brought brooches and earrings and signet rings and armlets and all sorts of gold objects, every man dedicating an offering of gold to the Lord. And every one who possessed blue or purple or scarlet yarn or fine linen or goat's hair or tanned ram skins or goat skins brought them. Everyone who could make a contribution of silver or bronze brought it as the Lord's contribution. And everyone who possessed acacia wood of any use in the work brought it. Amazing. Of the gifts, God laid it to them, all who were willing. And it says that all were willing and brought the offering to the Lord. Finally, the final part, verse 29. All the men and the women, the people of Israel, whose hearts moved them to bring anything for the work of the Lord, that the Lord had commanded by Moses to be done, brought it as a free will offering to the Lord. See, it's a free will offering. It's from our heart, not out of the requirements that we do, but sometimes a sacrificial offering as the Lord needs to do great things. You know, I saw that happening here at Peace. About a year ago, after the pandemic hit, the church was closed down for in-person worship for a couple of months, and over Easter and most of Lent, a time that is normally time of big giving to the church. But what I notice is the people step forward when there was a great need. They continue to give, almost more so than they had before. See, God's people are faithful. They respond by faith to the great things that God has given to us. Not out of requirement, not out of our goodness or to make ourselves look better, but to show that we are part of this congregation. We are part of God, Christ's church in a certain place. And for that reason, we give. Give to the Lord. Free will from the heart. May God bless us that we might do that always. Come back next week and we're going to be wrapping up the book of Exodus. I'll see you then.